Welcome to Season 4 of the Bird Joy Podcast. Your hosts, Dexter Patterson and Jason Hall, are back with more birds, more bird joy, and plenty of laughs along the way. Each episode brings new stories, fun conversations, and a whole flock of good vibes. We're happy you're here. We really miss the homies, and we hope you enjoy this season. You ready? Let's go.
All right, y'all, we are back, and today's guest is Chris Joe, a farmer, conservationist, birder, and ecotourism leader from Alabama. Chris is a native of Greensboro, Alabama, and the founder of Connecting with Birds and Nature Tours, a business located on the Joe Farm, a 200-acre Black Angus cattle farm in Newbern, Alabama. Is that correct, Chris? Newbern?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
All right. That has been in his family since the mid-1800s. Talk about legacy. Chris is a graduate of Alabama A&M University, where he earned his degree in Agribusiness Management and currently works as a District Conservationist with the Natural Resources Conservation Service. His professional work and personal mission sit at the intersection of land stewardship, conservation, and community building. In a region where Black land ownership has faced generations of intimidation, loss, and displacement, Chris understands how sacred land can be. Through birding tours on private land, he has created a space where people from all walks of life can come together, feel welcome, and experience nature in a way that centers joy, safety, and connection. The Joe Farm has also become known for the annual arrival of swallowtail kites. During hay cutting season, a moment that has drawn birders from across the region and sparked deeper conversations about access, representation, and conservation in the outdoors. At its core, Chris's work is about more than birds. It's about legacy, it's about community, and it's about showing what is possible when people experience nature together. Chris Joe, welcome to the Bird Joy Podcast.
It's a pleasure to be here, gentlemen, and this is kind of something that I always wanted to jump in on, and the more that you all do this and the time that passes, it's like, yeah, I got to jump in here because this is getting hot. This is getting to the point where I gotta put my little spin on it, and here we are. Here we are.
It's incredible, man. Like we were talking before the podcast, been a fan for a while, and just really appreciate what you're doing. And I think we want to kind of take folks maybe a little bit through the legacy and the process. So let's kind of start at the beginning here. As a kid, you grew up, close to the farm. Nature was part of your life. It sounds like. When did that really start to shape itself into being like a pivotal part of your existence, of your personality, your being, like, being into nature?
Wow. I mean, really, it has been one of those things that you don't realize it until you get to a certain age. And it's like, I've really been outdoors my entire life. Like I said, we're third generation Black Angus cattle farmers. Being a Black Angus cattle farmer, third generation, we were outside early. I have siblings. I got two older brothers and a younger sister. So being outside those Saturday mornings, we think we're going to go down and play around, but it was actual work. Hey, Saturday morning cartoons.
Nah.
Didn't get a chance to do a bunch of that. But it was something that I really think molded me now with the passion that I have for outdoors, and then my career. Finding the career that I have now that allows me to still do what I'm doing. It's just one of those, this is what your life was supposed to be about. So growing up on the farm, we have about 200 acres, 6 miles of trails, natural trails throughout. And the area that we're in is called the Black Belt of Alabama. So you want to do your history and dive into what the Black Belt was. Basically, the Black Belt soils grew cotton very well. So we all know where cotton is king, and slavery and the whole nine of how common it was back then. So our property, and I went back years and looked at maps. Basically, it was cotton on our property as well. So everything was flat. This land floods frequently. We do have wetland soils on our property. So I've seen water as high as your waist. I got game cameras actually with great egrets on a deer feeder that we had that was underwater. So it gets up pretty high, stays probably 2 or 3 days, and then it'll go down. But that allows that nutrient-rich soil, all that's replenished, and next thing you know, you just can grow pretty much anything down there. My family, on my dad's side, raised Black Angus cattle. Well, we did vegetable. Most of the older generation did multitude of things. There was not one specific thing that you had to do. Yes, they were in cattle, but they was also in vegetable production, hogs. So it was a myriad of
Yeah.
stuff that you had to do down at the farm. So that required labor. So, and my dad is one of 10.
Oh boy.
And I was like, wow. So you had to have some farm hands and some help. And fast forward that to us and my siblings and dad, and we're basically pretty much we got out of the whole vegetable thing because that requires a lot of work. So we strictly went to Black Angus cattle, and the reason behind we choosing Black Angus cattle, they're a lot more docile than some other breed of cattle because
Mm,
you can get into some. I want to put a lot of meat on the cow fast to sell it to market or sell it to another landowner, which is what we do, cow calf operation. Some of those animals and their breeds have a little more aggressive nature to them, so you don't
mm,
want to risk of injury. And I don't want people getting injured while down at the farm. The Black Angus is kind of one of those, and they easy calf, so you don't have a lot of issues with calving time. So
mm,
I think we
mm.
might have physically pulled a calf out maybe once in my life. I mean, that was high school. I remember that night because it was cold and we had to go out there and get a calf out. The mom lived, and yeah, that was quite something. So the outdoors has always been a part of what we've done, and I think the more that we're doing what we do now, that passion shows, and people come down there. It's just like they're part of the family. Hey, we got lost down there, or we went. Hey, that's my favorite area to go see this type of bird at. It's not like a park situation where somebody hand you a pamphlet and you're on your way. It's like, no, Chris has lived here. And you see all of us here, like my brothers, my sister, my mom and my dad. So it's a family affair that we do this, and it's just not, me doing it.
That's
So
incredible, man.
that's
That's
kind of
like,
how I
I
got
mean,
into it.
I think your story is a little bit more OG than everybody else. You're like, yeah, I was out in the middle of the night snatching calves out. I was throwing
Yeah,
hay. Like, what was y'all
yeah,
doing? I was out
yeah.
birding. I was out birding in high school. Like, that's what I was doing. I wasn't.
Nah,
And like,
it was I got the barbed wire scars to prove it, man.
yeah, man. Like it's so interesting though, because like, how did the birds come about? Were you out one day, or did you always notice them? Did your family talk about them? Like, how did that roll into this whole picture?
And that to me, I think is the funniest thing that I always tell people that I didn't go to school for anything related to birds. I was agribusiness. I knew I wanted to be in the ag field, but anything specific to birds, I'm like, yes, we grew up. Yes, great blue herons, great egrets. We'll see cattle egrets, bald
Hmm.
eagles. And it was just one of those things. I saw birds and I just, went on. It was nothing like, oh yeah, I can go out here. It really didn't hit me until like 2018. And when I actually was looking in order to how do I diversify the family farm? Yes, we have cattle, but dad was like, what do y'all want to do on the farm? And we were thinking about stuff, and I mean it just hit me like a light bulb, like, hey, look at what can we do with tours. And I talked to a gentleman from the University of Alabama Economic Development, and he came down to the farm. And at the same time, that I was on a Friday, and Sunday the Alabama Audubon came, which the crew that I'm with, they came down, their board president and then one of their members. So during that talk with the economic developer, he was saying, Chris, I think we can you got some activity that can be done out here. You got some nature walks. You got plenty of good trails. Well, bird watching, horseback riding, four-wheel ATV stuff. And I'm thinking, oh man. I was like, go back. What you mean? He said bird watching. I was like, I ain't never thought about that, man. Like, so people will pay money to see birds. And he said, Chris, you have no idea.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. So I said he just tagged along me. We was just throwing out ideas, looking at places. And then the day after the Audubon group came in, this is one of those, this is how you know it was meant to be kind of thing. So they got down there and they were laughing and I met them. And it's funny because that's when I started getting heavy in social media on Instagram. And I actually met the girl that's over the social media. And I sent her a message saying, hey, would y'all like to come and, meet and talk about some things? And when they got down there, I mean, they were just giggling to it, which I laughed about. They said, Chris, you have no idea. We used to watch you all cut hay from from the road when the kites were coming around, and I never thought nothing about it.
They were already creeping on
They were
y'all.
already peeping.
I'm like, so y'all were the people down there with those binoculars and yeah, we were trying not to be discreet, but Dad would say, yeah, those people down there, they watching me take. I'm like, who are they? And that was them. It was them, and it just gave me
Oh
goosebumps because
man.
I'm like, this is crazy, y'all. So y'all been trying. They said we were really trying to find a way to break the ice to ask, hey, can we come on your private land and bring our bird watchers? So that's how we got started, and we was just riding.
Mm.
They said, hey, man, let's try to do a bird tour down here. So that was our first tour was February. I'll never forget February 14th, 2019. So we walked around in the cold that December looking, scouting places. And they were like, yo, let's just go. And we had probably 25 students and a few of their board members that came down. And that to me, that let me know that this was something that could be continued. It wasn't a fly by night thing. And I was blown away. My dad he was laughing. My brother said, like, okay, this is working. This is working. And then we started doing the dry run for what's now the fifth year of the Black Belt Birding Festival. And Dr. Drew, he came down. I don't know if y'all know him, but
Oh yeah.
okay, so he's like my dad because they grew up same type country working farm. He goes out there and he just said, Chris, this just looks just like my childhood. And a lot of people that come down to the farm, yes, birds is like the main draw. I tell people I use birds as the hook to get you there, but then I start talking about education. I talk about entrepreneurship, especially with kids, entrepreneurship, letting people see a person that looks like them doing something
Mm.
other than your normal things. And Dr. Drew would always just look and say, yeah, this is my childhood. This is what farming looks like. And from then on, it's just been how do I get more people coming down to share this experience with us? Because it's unique because, like I said, you're seeing the people that grew up here that worked this land for, decades. And like I said, my dad's here. He's a retired agribusiness teacher. So we're educating people in ways that they normally don't get from going to, let's say, I'm going to a bird workshop or we're going to a bird tour. We did the bird walk, get a snack or something, then we're going home. You're learning family history. You're learning dynamics. You're learning what it takes to survive this long as a multi-generational farm because not a lot of us still have property. Yeah, we're kind of a unicorn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like me being a unicorn, we gotta show off to let folks know. And then even in my work career, meeting with black landowners, let's say grandparents that are, hey, this land we need to have a plan for it. And I'm glad
Hmm.
more of us are getting to that idea. I can't tell you how many families I sat down at a conference table with, and I'm like, hey, this is what we need to do. This, and then when they find out about what I'm doing, they just like, look, I knew I was in the right place. So
Yeah.
I feel like if I can convey that land ownership can be a plus and not just, oh, I gotta pay taxes on that land. Oh, I gotta do this. Like, you're sitting on something that you can squeeze more than just a dollar out of. You can squeeze generations,
Man,
giving them a
Chris.
leg up. So my
Wow,
nephew
Chris.
and nieces, I mean, people are coming in and looking at us just like, wow, I can't believe this. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Wow.
even now, me talking now, I'm living it, but it's one thing that I reflect back on, and then I look, and a lady told me this in the crowd. My brother was sitting in the back, and I had just got through presenting, and she's white lady, and she said, I don't mean this to sound funny or nothing, but you as a black man, standing up there talking about things that y'all done on y'all farm, it is blowing my mind. She said, I cannot. She said, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about the stuff the impact that you're making just doing what you're doing. And a
Hmm.
lot of times I don't look at it like that. Like I'm just, hey, little me here in
Just
Alabama doing what I'm
living
doing.
your life that you've been
And I'm
living.
just, yeah, and I'm just
Yeah.
doing what I'm doing. So I think we're taking off a good bit and more people that find out about us. And I feel like the platform that you all have, that's something that we can spread it out that, hey, and I consult also with a lot of people too. So ladies say, hey, can you look at my map and tell me kind of, and I give them, it's easy because I do this for work anyway. So I have the
Yeah.
maps, I have the soils, I have the
That's wild.
know-how, give you resources, point you in the right direction. And now I have a few people that are they're doing their first tours, lady in Kentucky.
Mm.
And she said, Chris, I thank you for for putting me on. And I feel like this bird world or ecotourism world is big enough that I don't have to gatekeep, because I get hits on my website all day long about coming to do tours that I can't. I
Yeah.
can't. So I
Wow.
gotta let other people, private landowners, like, hey, there's ways that we can do
You
this
slide
stuff.
up in
And
here. Let's go.
yeah, like, come on, man,
Get a
y'all
Chris,
coalition.
get
Chris,
some of this pie.
I'm so happy that you mentioned Dr. J. Drew Lanham. We actually had him on last season, and I actually had a conversation with him about my family history and how we lost our land in Mississippi. And it was very heartbreaking for me because, and you mentioned it, is my family didn't have a plan. They didn't, and then along the way, just a generation,
It's gone.
It's gone, right? And I wish there were people like you there that could educate my grandmother and my uncles and my dad, and it really is heartbreaking for me, as I now where I am in my life and thinking about how I want to try to build a legacy for my family, and I'm thinking about, man, I could have been down there on my family's land in Mississippi building on what they started generations ago. My dad was telling me, he's getting older too, so like the conversations I have with him are about how he grew up and what they did on that land. And he talked about how they raised hogs and did all these different things. They in Memphis now, most of my family, but they grew up on the farm in Tunica, Mississippi, and they lost that land. And when I see the legacy and I hear you so passionately talk about your father and your family, your brothers and everybody all working on this together, generation after generation. As you look at where you are now, what responsibility do you feel carrying on that legacy? Because I know, like you said, nieces and nephews, like this is bigger than you. This is your name. This is your family's legacy. What's that responsibility mean to you?
Man, you must have been in the truck with me and my other brother the other day, because we talked about my second brother Timothy Joe, and y'all gonna have to get him too. He's a mechanical engineer, but also he's an artist, so self-taught artist. So I do a lot of photography, and I'll send him pictures and he'll paint it. So we always talk about, this farm being in the family, the leg up that we have that most people don't have. It's our responsibility to carry it to the next step. And like I said, kudos to Dad, because he basically said, this is, y'all have opportunity to do whatever you want to, make the most out of it. What I need to help you with. And I was just like, Dad, I already know some people. Let's get it going. So in 5 years time frame, we've magazines, television stuff. It's like we're boom. And now I got to go back and backtrack and build the infrastructure to support all of this now, which we do. We received a grant from the Conservation Fund, and now we are currently constructing a 35 by 42 facility with a classroom, bathroom, kitchen, slab, everything. The slab done, the water, the plumbing is already hooked up, so we'll be starting that in the next month or two.
Wow.
So I'm like, I'm not wasting time at all. So I got to wear another hat of fund builder, generator. So that's another thing that I've never done. It's
you
like
got it.
now
You got
I'm
it.
doing, and that's wild because and the reason that came apart, because I was connected with the Alabama Black Belt Adventures. They're a organization here that I'm on, that the main lady that I met, Miss Pam Swarner, and I always give her props, because it was trail and tourism workshop that I went to of hers, to where that kind of gave me that spark. And ever since then, she's always, hey, Chris, you need to go talk to this person. You need to talk to this group. Hey, this group got some money. And that was and I call it alley hoop. I'm going to use that term a lot. Man, we always take those alley hoop. I mean, I know sometimes we think about life as like, man, I got to go find out this. I got to go do that. A lot of times, the opportunities that I have, they've been alley hoops from other people. She threw me an alley hoop, and like I said, I'm gonna dunk it. I'm on Michael Jordan from the free throw line.
Let's go.
I'm No,
We
I'm
always
dunking it.
say the people
I'm
that are
dunking it.
collaborating are the ones that are winning, you know?
you.
So I love it, the analogy of the alley-oop, you know? Like, you throw me one,
Throw
I'm
it up.
going up there, I'm
Throw it
going
up.
to put that thing down, and I'm going to put it
Yep.
down in style.
Yep. Yep. And same thing with y'all. Hey, Chris, you want to come on? Of course I do. I'm not gonna say no to that because I never know where that leads.
That's right.
One of the funny things, even with the travel stories with the BBC that came down, and I've heard I call myself kind of a Renaissance person. I've been around a lot of places, but seeing people, British folks, actually in your face speaking and sounding like they do on the movies, it still
That's
blows my
wild.
mind.
That's
Oh,
wild.
yo, Chris, oh, like
Did you feel official?
yo,
Did you feel
yo,
official?
I feel official. And I was like, this is wild. But I had asked the producer of the show is called Travel Stories. And he said, Chris, I heard about you. And he contacted me like a year and a half ago in order
Mm.
to do the prep show. He said, I read about you in the Bitter Southerner magazine. And he said, I got to contact you. And I mean, I get a call. It was like weird numbers I ain't never seen, +44322. I'm what? I wasn't going to answer it. But then that was him.
Who
And he
this
just said,
telemarketer, you know?
yeah, I'm like, man, this spam is getting more creative by the day. Sheesh. But he really just said he loved the story and it needed to be told over in their area. So we've been to some international UK stuff I've seen here, television show and publications. So and I say that to the people that are going to be listening to this is that you never know where your story is going to be told at, and somebody's going to pick it up and then gravitate towards that. Hey, I remember doing that interview for the Bitter Southerner. That was a while ago. You never know who's going to pick it up and look at it. And
Sure.
that's just
Yeah.
how it grew. So my responsibility and my brother, we always talk about how do we leave a legacy. And I just want, hey, when Chris leave up out of here, y'all say, man, Chris, he did something. And I think that's if we can get more people to look at life like, what did you leave behind? You can accumulate. You can accumulate. So I don't, I'm not knocking that. When it's all, and you know those stories, that's that glass of bourbon when you're sitting down and talking like, what did I really do? And if you can't answer that truthfully, and it's like, there's a piece of you that's going to be like, I missed out on doing something that I
Sure.
supposed to have been doing.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm not going to let that feeling hit me.
Yeah, and you kind of were sliding through it there, but that sounds like that's one of your primary levers for keeping your land in the family is to be finding new things to do with the land in the family. Like you mentioned Timothy Joe's art. And it's incredible, folks. Was it TimothyMJoe.com?
Yeah,
Check it out.
art, yeah.
It's moving. The landscapes, the oil paint, gouache on paper, right? Like I don't even know what that is, but it looks incredible, right? Everything's sold out.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the
like,
video that I had posted with I was sitting in the back of the room recording and watching him, and I tell him, I said, I remember him starting this when we were kids, and to look at what he can do now, and he slows down. He was in the class, and he was like, yeah, he was talking, and they were like, well, you gonna start painting or something? He said, yeah, it ain't gonna take me about. I mean, literally. And when he started doing the line, he did a belted kingfisher, nothing on the paper. Then all of a sudden, he just nothing on his fingers. I'm like,
I'm looking at there's a couple
it's like,
kingfishers.
it's absolutely incredible.
So I get crazy every time because like I'm watching him do this. He's telling his story in art too. And then down at the farm, he had a painting too. So like I had the first bird watching. He had he had probably 5 or 6 painters. We was riding around at the farm. They was going in different areas painting landscapes. So that's incredible. That's just a little bit of what we can do. Camping. We had our first group of campers, nature walking, journaling, school group. So I mean,
it's really a testament to what land ownership should be, honestly, and not and like, you know, for people in general, but more specifically for Black and brown families. Like this is what they should be thinking. It's really incredible to hear, man. I can't wait to see what y'all are going to do next.
And also, when you mention land ownership, I have to put this plug in there as we need to be more mindful. And I don't know how old you are, but I know y'all heard this term before. We got to start talking our business with the younger generation. I know a lot of, you got to get that, handle that business. We don't like to talk about death, and we don't like to talk about trying to write a will or doing anything with it. But I tell you, that is
Have to.
the Achilles heel that we have that I wish we gotta do better, because heirs property, grandma and granddaddy got land. They died. Nobody has put a name on paper or nothing. You got nicknames. Sometimes we don't even know what our real grandfather's real name is, or their Uncle Junebug. Anybody know Uncle Junebug's real name?
Right.
Nobody knows who their real names.
I got an Uncle
And
Junebug.
the funny thing, when my great aunt, she stayed right next. So our family land, it was siblings all in a row. So my great aunt, she passed at 103 or 104. She still lived at her house at 100, 101. And you'll see her outside, but she stayed at. I took my scanner, my laptop, and I went up to her house and I took photo albums, and I scanned. I got pictures of people I've never even known of. I have obituaries, and that's another thing. Obituaries are where you're gonna find their real name. So Uncle Cliff, what was his real name? Oh, it was Clifton Joe. So now I can put that piece here and that puzzle fit. We have to build this. Okay, well, whose name's on the deed? Go down to the courthouse, find out whose name's on what. Okay, well,
Mm.
we don't have nobody. Oh, let's form an LLC. Let's form something to where this land is gonna stay entire 200, instead of there's a 50-acre here, there's a 10-acre here, there's a 2-acre here. Somebody put the trailer in the middle to where I can't go. All that
Yep.
stuff has to be talked about. So please talk to grandma, talk to the parents. I know these subjects are touchy feely. I think we're losing a lot because nobody knows. And trust me, you can go online right now and go to the tax website, and you can go buy property where if somebody stopped paying taxes on it, I can go in there and pay year or two, and I can get the opportunity to own that land
Mm.
right up under you.
Yeah,
So
like I mentioned, I seen it happen with my own
yeah.
family, and it literally broke my heart. You know, it really broke my heart. And I think about what you're doing, and thank you for pouring into the next generation. Thank you for valuing the legacy that you've been blessed with. You grew up different than a lot of folks, and look, as you look back on it now, Chris, how rare do you realize that your upbringing really was? You know, like.
Unicorn.
Yeah.
Even my friends and my closest friends, like literally across the street from us, they didn't have a farm. We were out of our entire school, and I went to the integrated school, and that's another thing. We went to we had the integrated school, we had all black school, and we had a private white school. So we went to the integrated black and white. And some of my friends out of that we may have been the only one that owned a farm. Some of the other my friends, their parents worked the catfish house and the chicken house, and that was the only industry. There was like job wise, there was no jobs. That was the only thing you did. And us having a farm and we're selling cows, everybody thought we were rich. And even like did it kind of felt like, I knew I was different. We were different from everybody. Like I said, my dad was an educated teacher, and my mom she did substitute teaching. So we know we lived different, or our upbringing was different, and what we were taught and what we were exposed to was different. Now looking back at that, I think me showing the kids that come down from Selma high schools, and it's high poverty. Like I said, there's not a lot to do, but if I can show, I had the football team, all black boys. It was probably about 16 of them, and they walked beside. Two of them walked beside me and said, "Man, this is just so." 16-year-old, 15. Y'all know how we were at 15, 16.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, this is so cool. I really enjoy outside. Another guy like, yeah, man, I like I like taking walks too. And I'm like, how comfortable they are in saying that, to where it's not oh man, you can't do outside, man. That's girl stuff, man. You're out here enjoying nature and stuff. And they're seeing me enjoy it. They see me doing cattle stuff. My dad talk about the cows, talk about land ownership, talking about starting a business for yourself. Once you start plugging in those seeds, man, I felt like I've done my job. That's to me. If we can look at doing our job and letting the rest take care of itself, I can't follow this kid 10 years in the future and find out, you know what? Yeah, I help. No, my duty is to, hey, show you this right now. Plug in something. You may leave out here not saying nothing, but man, it was fun going out in nature. That may spark something else. And hey, I've done my job.
Yeah. And I think Dexter and I have both experienced that, where we have young men and women out from communities that don't get exposed to fresh air, the ability to walk the ability to, we were just interviewing another guest talking about finding the enchantment in nature, even through the struggling parts of life. Right. And like, that's really the connection. It's not always, what the movies make it seem. And I wonder, like, that sounds like it's something that you probably experience pretty often, but probably took some work to get there. So like going into hosting bird tours or just even nature walks on private land, right? It's obviously rare in Alabama. What were some of like the logistical challenges that came with that when you started doing it? Because I don't want people to think that, I mean, you make it look real easy, but like, I don't want people to think like it, you got to do stuff. So like, how was that getting into that? And like, when did you finally feel like, all right, this is locked in. I understand it. Like, we're good.
It started clicking because I always tell people, you have the skills already in you. It's just, how do I go about making that skill pay off to where I can do this time after time, and it runs like it's supposed to. The skill that we grew up with, farming, driving a track. I can drive a tractor. I can park a trailer with my eyes closed, reverse, parallel park, everything. I can do all that. And I got to thinking about, okay, we have all this land. How do we get people to around this property? I know I'm pretty good shape. Everybody's not as mobile as you think. Terrain our land is flat, but still walking terrain, walking in impact. How do I get people that are of age, that have mobility issues, handicapped, little kids, how do I get them around to experience nature without it being a chore? And that's when I was like, I need to get a trailer. Maybe it's a hayride. When I actually wrote a grant for the trailer that we have now and got it custom built. It's an 18-foot spring loaded rear gate, lets all the way down. So we have wheelchair people. And that was something to see too, because she was like, Chris, a lot of people don't think about wheelchair bound people. And had her all down in the deep woods, and she was,
she was living life.
Burdens just all the same. So
let's go.
That was really, I was just trying to find ways how to get people around. And then the term birdability came up that I saw on Instagram. I'm like, and they're like, Chris, you're a picture perfect example of being a birdable place. And I'm like, I never knew that, because I was just trying to get folks around without walking this whole thing. Us doing that, me driving the trailer, going to different spots on the property. So you can park your car and you don't even have to get off if you don't want to. I'll traverse you through the property. A lot of times people just love, and they get, man, their eyes kind of change. One lady said, this reminded me of I remember being a little girl and we were doing a hayride and my granddaddy. And I'm like, bingo. So I'm connecting folks to old memories, to people that passed away. They're happy. And one girl, this was during Black Belt Birding Festival, during the kite show, and my dad's out there cutting grass, and I try to talk to everybody. And that's one thing people laugh at. They say, oh, you're a real dude. You actually talk to folks. Like, yeah. I'm not any different. They're like, oh. So they're like, oh, you're a celebrity. I'm like, yeah, dude, don't throw terms like that at me. But I will walk the crowd and I talk to people. And I saw this one girl, and she was we have people on the fence line. So when y'all come back, when y'all come, we have them on the fence line. Big people have lawn chairs. They're laying on blankets. The kites literally come over your head. And one girl, she was just there and tears were coming out her eyes. So I walk over there and like, is everything all right? She's just like, oh my God, I can't. She said, you have no idea how much this means to me. And I'm thinking like, oh, okay. So me being, and I'm a people person, so I can talk all day long, talk to anybody about anything. And you're going to know me by the time we finish talking, or you're going to feel like you know me. So I'm like, man, okay, Chris, let's use these skills of communicating. So I started talking to her and she said, you have no idea how happy I am. She said, my mom had COVID. This was COVID era. My mom had COVID. I think she said she was close to dying twice. And she said she had booked the trip to come down. And she came from Arkansas. She said, I wasn't going to come, but I just needed to get down here. And she was just bawling. She she gave me a hug and she said, "This means so much to me right now. I feel uplifted just seeing all these people. I made new friends. I mean, people take selfies out here. People exchange a number. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
not, it's a thing. People get connected at the farm and there. I see them post stuff like, oh, look at us. We're out here burning. This is, I'm like,
That's exactly what
dang,
I'm
that's
going to
what's
do when I
up.
come down
That's
there.
what's
That's
up.
exactly
I
what I'm
mean,
going to do.
it's really something to see, but she really kind of just hammered it home that I'm doing something is making an impact. And I
Sure.
don't need like that. You don't know what a person is going through mentally. That is like, I just need to get out, see somebody that cares for me. They don't even know me, but they care about me. Good job, girl.
Mm-mm.
Good job. So
Chris.
she drew,
Wow.
she dried them up, but she really was like, this means so much to me right now. So
You know what
I
that
think I've done my
was?
job.
That was bird joy. Like it's kind of crazy
Yeah.
when you think about what I've seen those moments with people too.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it. Jason and I talk about this all the time. We talked about this on the podcast. It's those moments of community that we're seeing when we're leading walks, and then we see like a couple people that are out
Yeah.
there and now they talking, and then next week they out birding together. Like those, like they done found some friends.
Yeah.
And, I always talk about how birding isn't about the birds. Oftentimes it's the community that you get connected to, and the people, some of the best people I've met in my life, I've met through birding. And it sounds like with these swallowtail kites, I'm going to tell you, I've only seen one, and it was for like 5 seconds. This thing was hiding in the trees, and then it banked across the street and went back into the trees and never showed its face again. Because they don't come. Yeah,
man.
I already know.
I mean, we counted 15, and when I say they come over you, they bank over you, and it's they're
huge. Yeah,
ridiculous.
So those swallowtail kites, they've become this like huge for your tours, obviously, and people come in to see them. What is it like? You mentioned them, just seeing how low and they're banking around people's heads. Like, what's it like witnessing people see that spectacle? Like, are there, you talked about this woman crying. Are there other reactions from guests that stand out to you from those moments?
It's really crazy because, like I said, I canvass the crowd and I talk to everybody, and like I said, you can see the anticipation. It's one thing, like I said, it's one thing to know about them, but like actually seeing them and then them close and then them following your dad around cutting hay, and they're like, no, there's food. We're gonna follow you around until you finish. And even after we're finished, they're still around in the area low, and you can see the anticipation. People, they get out the cars, they get ready, they got the cameras. They like me, they got they got
get strapped up.
Yeah, and they're ready, man. He was ready. He said, man, I'm ready. I ain't never seen one before. And when they get down there, and this year was funny because last year was funny because they made us wait. Now that's another thing. And it's fun. It's something. It's stressful to me too. Even like that night before, I don't really. I sleep, but I don't sleep that sound. But it's one thing that people come from across the country to come down to for one day. Now I got to get this right to that day.
That's
and
pressure.
Man, so we get started. Dad, he fires up the tractor. He goes down there to the area where we're gonna cut. I start hauling people down there to the farm. To the field. They get out. They get set up. They get their spots, and it's like, okay, Dad's going around. Nothing still. 5 minutes pass, ain't nothing. 10 minutes. Man, it's like 25 minutes. Ain't nothing going. I said, oh man, come on now, y'all. It's like 30 minutes had passed. You can see people kind of
sweating bullets over there.
And I'm like, oh my God. I'm over here playing a speaker like old buddy begging the girl to come out the side, man. I'm blasting kite sounds in this air. And man, then all of a sudden, hey y'all, there's one. And it's just like, you have no idea, man. It literally is like a weight off of me. I can breathe. And then I can go and start being the Chris and talking and doing that. But yeah, it's a nervous thing waiting on a particular bird to show up that is in the area. Now, it's nothing that they're not going to be there. It's when and are they going to come that day? So seeing that, and it's creepy because like you'll see one, then next thing you know, there's like 10 all of a sudden. It's like, where did y'all just come from that fast? And they just drop out of the sky. And then you can kind of see the pecking order because the Mississippi kites, they come as well. So we have swallowtails in the Mississippi. So they both feed at different times. So you'll get a mix. You'll get them kind of And then this year, the cattle egrets, they followed Dad around on it. So there was like a group of, and I think I got pictures on there. There was a group of
Mm.
probably 20 of them that floated around in the field while the kites were above, they were down low. And I'm like, and an Autobahn guy said, "Have you ever seen that before?" I said, "No." So I
Yeah.
didn't know. I guess the dinner bell was too loud and they couldn't resist. Another guy, he was saying, "Chris, he said, and it was like you, Dex. I seen them up high." He said, "I've never seen one close."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, he just, his eyes was just dark. He said, "This is ridiculous, man." And another older lady, she was like, "I lived in Florida and I see them in Florida, but like I said, they were always up way up
Mm-hmm.
high, like you can
Mm-hmm.
see them 14, and they just be." And she said, "I am amazed." She said, and then when people actually see how large they are, and that's another thing that catches a lot of people off guard. And then the number of them. So it's not just one. Oh, I got one out here. I mean, like 15 at one time. Then they get so full, they go sit right up in the tree right by you. So like they're up there, and you're like, man. So
Mm.
they just
That's
chill.
incredible, man.
And the more that I think they're seeing that in front of them, seeing the activity, see the frenzy. Because when that circle, what I feel is like a rectangle. So we kind of cut rectangles. So once Dad gets, all the insects are in the middle. So they'll work their way in. So when he gets to the middle to start cutting, it's like, I mean, you can see the
Oh, it's
cloud
like
of
a
them,
funnel. Yeah. Yeah.
and man,
That's wild,
they
man.
just go everywhere. And you think they would hit I think my dad got a selfie with him, and one is in the back
Just
behind him,
following them. Oh, that's
just
gangster. That
following
would be
him.
my Facebook profile picture
I was
forever,
like,
man.
"Wow, Dad." So, and I got
That's
him pretty
absolutely
good with a
incredible.
phone now. So he
That's
said,
pretty
"Yeah,
good,
they
man.
down here now, Chris." I said, "Okay, that's good." So they showing up.
Oh man, that's great, man.
Yeah.
I know what that's like, sweating bullets where you're trying to get people on certain birds, and like
Yeah.
it's even different if you own the property. But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I'm wondering, because you're not just having the property, bringing people to your property, right? You're out, you're at birding
Yeah.
festivals, you're in the community, you're doing things, and I imagine that in a lot of those places, those conservation spaces, you may be the only Black person in the room.
I was.
Yeah, and like, how was that? How was that, right? Because we've talked to other folks about being the, quote unquote,
Mhm.
tip of the spear in terms of entering the space. Like, how is being in that space and then building it out for other folks kind of shaped your own career? And are you feeling like in your spaces some institutions are still getting some things wrong about representation, or have you kind of got people into shape to understand exactly what it means to bring different communities into that space? It's
To
a heavy
me,
question, I
what
know.
I've been, it's no, this it's a good lift. What I've been noticing, and my brother Tim, me and him talk about this, because he's painting, he's doing stuff that not a lot of Black people are
Yeah,
doing.
for
Like,
sure.
you have to be wary of where you're going, or hey, I'm going to go stop and bird watch on the side of the road. Okay, where are you going to go first? Then
Mm-hmm.
second of all, you know what I'm saying? Is it safe?
Yeah,
And my
yeah.
brother, he's
Mm-hmm.
like, man, I can't just pop up on the side of a road somewhere and start, and then don't let me have on something to where you really can't see my face or something, or I'm walking around with something like this and I'm holding, you don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
So
yeah, we know.
I'm real cognizant of where I am and what I'm doing. More example of why I have my own space and I can do what I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to worry about that. So I have my safe space, but while I'm out, I'm still very aware of where I am, and being in the South, being in areas to where you don't just randomly show up, because a lot of times people aren't ready for you to be where you are on a nature trail at whatever time of the day, or first thing in the morning. You see me sitting on the edge of the pond, hunkered down. You trust me, I'm going to get a drive-by call. I've had this happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was out in the field, actually working. I was actually working. So this ain't even bird watching. This is me doing my day-to-day job. I'm out on the edge of a crop field, measuring crop residue, doing my stuff. I get a silver truck pass by, and you kind of can tell when somebody's going to double back on you. You're like, I got to get my
Here
speech
we
straight.
go.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
come back around again, and they roll the window down. They just act like they want to have a conversation with you, but they're really trying to
Mm-hmm.
see how you are. So it's like, okay. And then I just make hey, I'm out here. I do conservation stuff. You got some land too, and then the whole conversation changes because I'm coming to him in a different way, that it's not going to be confrontational. It's not going to be like, man, what you got coming over here? You don't know me. First of all, I don't like that way of communicating. It's too aggressive. If I meet your unknown with aggressive, that's where we're clashing. So you don't know who I am, but I'm going to come to you and oh, this is what I'm doing. Hey, y'all seen the timber? You know they're burning. You know on so and so's land they're doing, and now he's relaxing. Oh man, he's hanging out the window, and yeah, I thought. Matter of fact, can I come to your office? I need some help with my cows.
Yeah. You
Boom,
flipped
and
it.
I
You
just
flipped
I
it.
just broke that. So
Mm.
the more I'm starting to interject how I am in spaces, more people are they're kind of more relaxed. I've been to different South workshops speaking on land ownership. Like I said, the only person there, but me as a conservationist, I know what I'm talking about. I'm in that space and they're like, huh, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, I'm a black guy, but he also knows what he's talking.
Hmm.
So if we have to know our, and like I said, telling my story. You want, hey, Chris, tell your story how you got started. I can tell you that story with confidence. But if we're going to spaces that not ready or not used to seeing us in spaces, and we're not don't have our game together, it's gonna look, it's gonna be perceived as they're not even supposed to be here, kind of thing. And now we got problems. But if
Sure.
you come in there like, hey man, we're bird watching, this group of gardeners, they never, older white ladies never talked to a black person before, and now you're here making them laugh and they're having fun, and and now they want you to come back and talk again. So I feel like I'm supposed to be the change agent
Hmm. You are.
in whatever group. Yeah.
You
So
are.
if I know I'm the person that everything is going to hinge on how I react to the situation, now it's like, oh, it could have been a whole lot worse. We could have nosedived quick in certain places. I got everybody laughing, folks are talking, they're inviting me to come talk their weird request. I had to talk to a Chamber of Commerce tourism in way South Alabama. And like I said, the only one in the room, but the lady that
Mm.
introduced me, I mean, big up me like she been knowing me forever. And them folks, after I got finished, the owner he even came and was talking to me about stuff they did as kids. Yeah, I remember my granddad. And it's like, wow. So I don't like to tell people, oh, I don't see color. No, I think that's the wrong way to look at it. It's how do I show you my background, my upbringing, to where you can relate to something that I've done? And now that we're relating to, yeah, I remember doing. We used to work cows, and man, I almost got kicked. Man, I remember getting crapped on, and now we're laughing. So
Yeah.
it's that's why I tell people. I said, man, more than likely, if you don't like me, it's something, man, it's something wrong with you, because we're going to meet at some level, because I can pretty much find out something about you in this conversation that we're gonna be friends after I leave.
Jay, you know what this remind me of is when Liz was talking about interpersonal skills. When she's out and she's on like a work site and she has to learn how to talk to all these different people and the construction workers. And you clearly have that, Chris. And you talking about how we have to be different in certain spaces. You're in the deep South. Here in Wisconsin, when I go to rural areas, it's different for me. And I have to be ready for that. And similar things when people see me, I just tell them my story. Or if I'm in a scope, Jay, we've talked about this, and I'll say, hey, you want to see what I'm looking at? And immediately you just break the barrier with them, because they're like, whoa, I ain't never seen one of those up close. And I know those rural areas around Philly get pretty,
Yeah.
kind of similar. So I love that you talk about those spaces, and we do have to think differently as Black men when we're in those spaces. And I'm thinking back to the Central Park incident that involved Christian Cooper, and that really sparked a lot of conversations about race and the outdoors, and it kind of spread nationally. And you actually had him come to your farm, and they filmed an episode for Extraordinary Birder down there in Alabama with you. What did that do to you? Like, what? I mean, I know people started reaching out to you and things changed. Like, that episode is fantastic. How did that visit by Christian, who was also, he's a dear friend and he was on this podcast as well. How did that impact you and the farm and your vision? I'd love to hear your take on that.
And it's funny because it actually started. Okay, so I can't even remember, years running together. But he actually came prior as a guest, special guest from the Alabama Audubon, basically paid for him to come and be a special guest birder. So I met him there. him and Karina. Yeah, him and Karina Newsom and Al. Yeah. So all three of them came down to the farm. I think I sent y'all that picture. It's in that Google Drive. Meeting Chris, and this was his first time. I won't say his first time in Alabama. He had folks from the South, so he kind of was nervous. And we went that night prior when he got there. He stayed in Selma at a bed and breakfast that one of my friends has. And that's another thing about partnerships, knowing where, hey, she has a bed and breakfast, they come bird watch with me in the morning, and then boom, we're all making money. But he came there and we walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge and we went and looked at the a lot of the civil rights foot soldiers, and he was just in awe. He's like, man, Chris, I feel like y'all actually taking care of me. It's not because he said, because I was kind of nervous about coming down to the South. I didn't know how they were going, respond to me or how I was going to be received. And when he came down to the farm the next day, my mom, my dad, and my siblings, everybody is just treating him just like one of us and not worried about, oh, well, you're this or you're that or your sexual orientation is this. Or, oh, you don't deal with that. We don't even allow that. You come down, we're taking care of you, period. And he had the best time, like saying, seeing the kites too. So the kites, I use the kites to bring people in, but once they get there and they start to see what's more to it than just the birds, they get the family orientation, they get the actual somebody actually cares about me as a person. And so we got through with that. I didn't think nothing of it. We took pictures, we laughed, we made videos. That we went chimney swift hunting that night prior, watching them go into the neighboring building chimney. So we were chimney swift chasing. Saw Nighthawk too. He enjoyed it. But then say, bird the next day got finished. Everybody went their separate ways. I get an email. So we finished that in August. I get an email probably February from the producer and was like, hey, first I thought Disney. I was like, Disney production. Whoa. Hold up. Yeah, well, we had a great time down at the farm, and Chris said that we needed to reach out to you to see if you were interested in being a part of filming for The Extraordinary Bird. And I was like, are you serious?
How fast did you hit that reply?
Oh man, I wrote her back so quick. I wrote her back so quick. Even to this day, I sent her something just the other day, and it was just like, thank you so much for it. And she said, Chris, that was a fun trip. She said, I really enjoyed it because we had the scheduling stuff, and she said, Chris, y'all were so flexible and worked with us. Cause like it's not just him coming, and I've been a part of film stuff. I was an extra in Selma, Ava DuVernay's, and I did all the shoots with them. So I kind of see what a full production. You're meeting Oprah, you're meeting Ava, wiping sweat off your face. You're meeting Ruth telling you, "Come in here, boy, and I need to put you in some overalls." And it's crazy. It's crazy, and having that experience, and then Christian Cooper and the crew. And those guys coming right now. I'm cool friends with one of the guys that's a videographer for the show. So they came down there. My dad, everybody just like came to the farm. We had some friends that they wanted to come and meet him, and it was funny. I'm like, oh, we're really doing this out in the middle of nowhere because you wouldn't be able to find us if I pointed on a map. You probably still couldn't find it. And it was just funny to see them come in, bring all their production stuff. I tell them to hop on the trailer. We go down to the field. And my dad, I'm telling you, I don't know if y'all parents, but my dad is so guarded with that tractor that I didn't think this was gonna happen because the producer was like, yeah, because we want to have Christian drive a little bit. He want to cut some hay. Hold on. He's gonna do what? And he doesn't even drive. I don't think he doesn't even have a license. I think he said he don't even drive for real.
He don't.
So, yeah. So I'm like, so he's gonna drive a tractor that a new tractor at that. I haven't even driven the tractor.
No.
I haven't even driven.
No, thank you.
I drive the older tractor. Dad drives the new tractor.
Yeah, Dad get the new one.
Man, it was something I laughed my butt off. It's I don't know if y'all got this on the show. I was like, hey man, you gotta straighten up more than that, man. Anyway, It's like one of those things where we're on the 5 heartbeats where the dude was playing the music wrong and he had to go knock
Yeah.
him off the piano. So dad had to knock him off the controls and cut it how
Get
it's
it
supposed to
straight.
be.
Yeah.
But it was that was so much fun to do that and to see. And Chris just really tell us how much he appreciated what we were doing, and even on that show, the rest of the people that are on the show, I know them personally. And that's another cool thing that I think that episode of Alabama, it was really filled with people that are actually know each other, that are actually in that realm. It is not like we're strangers. Dr.
Yep.
Fareed, she brings her students from Tuskegee to our farm every year. The other gentleman, me and him, cool friends. The other girl that works with Auburn Raptor Center, I actually took pictures of Independence. That's the bald eagle that they use to do the flight.
Sure.
So it's like I know these people firsthand, and him being, so trusting of us to allow him to do that. And like I said, nobody got hurt, even though that was his first time driving. Dad, we did a crash course in how to drive the tractor, and it made it work. And like I said, I really think that episode catapulted us, because I still to this day, hey, we saw you on Christian Cooper's show. I want to come down there. And that really has done more for us. I don't even really have to advertise. I can just put up a flyer. Hey, we're doing birding.
Boom.
And I'm getting people. Yeah, you know what? I got a chance to come. I'm gonna come this year. Then don't let other people start. Bonnie, I think she's a country musician, and she posted some stuff, and my DMs got flooded. Hey, when the next time you doing something? I saw her.
Bonner Black? Was it Bonner Black? Yeah.
So she came down and she was just laughing, and she's like, "This is freaking amazing." and I'm like, "Yeah, it is." And I said,
Chris, you are amazing, Chris.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. It really is.
He actually said that was his favorite stop.
Yeah,
we interviewed him on the podcast, and he talked about going back to Alabama and connecting with his family history. And it's just beautiful to hear you talk about it from your angle as well, to see those connections to that trip. It's just absolutely beautiful.
It's incredible.
He was just blown away at it. But like I said, I feel like once you kind of show people a side that they really don't see in their day-to-day, like you don't really get a chance to see a full family doing something all together, pushing in the same direction. And I don't mess with that side of the family because and it's like nobody's doing that. You see we all got t-shirts, we're all organized, and it's like this is how you're supposed to do stuff. You're supposed to be hone in your craft, make it to where somebody wants to come back again. Somebody gonna tell somebody else again and make their experience. I had fun too as well. And now it all meshes together. So it's not.
Yeah, man. Y'all doing it.
I found out my groove, and man, I can get down there. I leave my house probably 5:30, get to the farm by 7, hook the tractor up, put the hay on the back, park everything, put the stuff out front. Boom! I'm ready for people to show up at 8:30.
Let's go, man. I love to hear it, man. I love to hear it. Listen,
I got a good deal.
We are at my favorite part of the podcast episode, which is the lightning round. So we're going to give you some quick questions. We need quick, instinct-only answers. I don't want none of this, both or all of them. I want specific answers. All right, you're on the hot seat. Okay. All right, the first one is going to be rough. All right, I don't know. Your favorite bird to photograph?
Red-shouldered hawk.
Beautiful bird. A sound in nature you love?
Morning dove.
Okay. Camera
Saturday
or binoculars?
Morning, dew on the ground. I can see it right now. My eyes closed up at my mom's dad's house.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Yeah. Camera or binoculars first?
Camera.
Morning light or evening light?
Evening light.
One word and one word only to describe the Joe Farm.
Beautiful.
Solo birding or group tours?
Solo.
Place you want to bird next?
South America.
An animal you relate to the most?
Jaguar.
Oh, wait a minute. All right, hold on. I'm going to give you this last question, but then we're going to come back to that Jaguar real quick. Bird joy means blank.
My freedom.
Wow.
Amen.
Freedom.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good. Listen, Jaguar, just explain, like 30 seconds or less. Like, give me what's up with the Jaguar?
I'm kind of a loner, and I don't mind being by myself. And that's kind of what the Jaguar strength. I can go hunt. I can go get what I need. I don't need a whole pride behind me. I can take care of it. And my personality, I'm a loner, but I'm a people.
I love that, man. That's incredible.
Man, Chris, I knew this was going to be good. The power of legacy and the education and the knowledge that you're passing on to next generations, the joy that you're bringing into people's lives as you open up your private space, which has been built on generations and generations of your family's legacy, is truly it's just so inspirational. It really is. And I encourage people out there to go check out your website, connectingwithbirdsandnaturetours.com. Check you out on Instagram. We're going to link all of this in our show notes, and just really, really want to encourage people to follow the work and support the work that you're doing. But thank you, man. Today was beyond expectations, and we're really, really, really grateful that you spent some time with us today.